Today at the Proving Grounds, 6 times the detail. Today we're talking about the legend, the piece of shit that was shat on, probably the worst game, or a really good contender for one of the worst games of this generation. Fallout 76. Huge fucking what the fuck. So, this probably might come off more like a rant. This is my 4th take on doing this. This is going to be my last take on doing this. So, I'm sorry if this comes off. It's very ranty. So, I'm going to try do this good. First thing. Fallout 76 uses the engine of Fallout 4. I did not play Fallout 4, so I cannot make comparisons to it. I bought this game during the first year of Black Friday it came out, where it was about like half price. I got mostly for lulz, because how horribly and atrocious was still just stuff coming in, and I could only find out how terrible it was only in the coming days I would stop playing it. So Fallout 76 is the newest entry in the Fallout series. It is an online only with no offline mode. But you can play it by yourself, and boy will you probably, because good luck trying to convince any of your friends to fucking join you for this, because most will tell you, are you fucking crazy? Not that I blame them. Anyway, so Fallout 76 begins with you waking up in Vault 76, finding everyone had left. Apparently there was a big party because you were going to open the vault and storm out there in the country roads and repopulate and save the land. Except everything is destroyed and everyone's apparently dead except for the people who came out from the vault. So you sundering go through the land. In Fallout, or modern Fallout fashion in first person. You can also click in the third person, scrounge around for food and needs. Now, the survival mode, in my understanding, which I believe were in New Vegas and Fallout 4, was a turn onable feature. In this, it is not. It is a core concept of the game to survive. So you have food, and you have needs of water, along with getting diseases on top of them that come and go, and believe me, you will get lots of diseases. So you will have to scrounge for your equipment, or make them, or rob them, or find them, or trade them, because now you actually can buy stuff from vending units from other players, which, to be honest, is like a year late for that. Honestly, that's something people wanted way back when the game was fucking new. Or buy them from the few robot vendors there are in the world, if you want to waste your money. But to be fair, you gotta use your money on something. So if you played Fallout 4, I've heard countless times that you will be very familiar with this game, because it is straight out just the Fallout 4 engine, just with fucking multiplayer. Actually, what's funny is, at this moment of this video, what's the current craziness going on is that hackers in the PC front have found a way to spawn shit into the game, and those leftover remnants of Fallout 4. So apparently there's like a giant blimp in Fallout 4, and somebody actually summoned it and used it as a floating fucking base in 76 in the PC version. But so you'll explore and you'll slowly build up an idea of what's going on, that something terrible has happened and the people in the local area have died, but they will investigating things. You'll find audio logs and computer logs and stuff that will point you in the direction of finding out more clues. Now, considering, a lot of people always question how the hell computers and shit still have power in Fallout 76 half the time, I have to question how all the shit still have power when pretty much everyone's fucking dead. So, Your only real remnants of anyone being alive is your overseer, who leaves audio logs that you can find all over the place that help trail you into the main story line of the base game, because there's supposed to be an expansion thing coming on that's going to bring human NPCs into the game, but we'll get to that here or that. So you're just basically on a mission to find out what's happened here. And your journey is just beginning. And typical of the modern ones, like I said, you'll scrounge for things. Now, this game heavily favors melee stuff. Now, I don't know how much balancing they've done since the beginning of that, but I've pretty much used melee throughout most of my gameplay. Guns, there's so many instances where guns do jack shit. Like, it's ridiculously how terrible some of the guns are in this game. And I've heard laser weapons are just fucking the most worthless thing in the game. I haven't even used them. I've countlessly heard people say they're so terrible in this game. So, I never even bothered with them because of that. Now, similar to Fallout 4, you do get a set of body power armor. Full set of power armor that you can change the pieces in that. You can customize them in that. And you can further customize them with the Atom Shop, which is the game's money toil system. That you earn atoms in the game for doing random shit and accomplishing things, but there's only so much you can earn every week and stuff and that. So, you know, if you want that quick satisfaction, go and get that wallet. But mostly cosmetics, which I don't really give a crap about. Actually, I know a lot of people bitched about them, but when the repair kits showed up, and I was at the end of the game, I was like, sweet, yes, I'm going to get some of those with the free atoms I've gotten, because I have like 4,000 free atoms I've gotten. Never spent a dime on this piece of crap of games. I don't really spend money on any monetization shit. You know, anyone familiar with me knows I'm pretty hardcore in the physical media. But anyway, so the repair kits were nice for me because I had deep pocket armor that needed ballistic fibers, which are rare, and the best place to find them, you're usually wasting about an hour in hopes of maybe finding 1 to 5 of them, which was fucking terrible. So I liked the repair kits myself, but I could obviously see why people complained about them in the PvP aspect. But to be honest, for about the later half of this game, I didn't really see any PvP anymore. It kind of died out after the game came out because they kept nerfing and changing everything because they couldn't just decide, do we want to let people get their face punched in constantly, or do we want to make it where you have to initialize it and make it where it's all baby sissy and there's no real survival aspect to it. So it's just been messed like that. Yeah. Hell, they were trying to do some Battle Royale thing they apparently canceled now, so I never even got to even try that. The only PvP I ever got to try was in the early game, which was probably good, because there were a few trophies related to that, so it's probably a lot more annoying to get those now than when it was when the game was new, before they kept changing everything. Now, similar to Fallout 4, where you could build up camps and stuff, you get to make a little miniature camp in the world. Now, your camp only exists in the world that you're in, the current server. There are different servers with a max cap. I think you can only have like 30 or 40 people per world, I think. I can't remember the cap off the top of my head. So you'll make a little encampment, make a little house, stations to make your food and ammo, and you can store lots of crap there, which they still haven't upgraded it since 800, and they really need to, because there's still so little space in this pack mulling simulating game. In a game where you're encouraged to collect all kinds of garbage, find all kinds of quote-unquote awesome gear, you barely have fucking space to keep all this garbage to make, repair, and customize, and have extra and spare weapons in the back. I mean, my character's skill cards were completely chosen around carrying shit, and I still can only carry a few extra weapons, my power armor, and all my gear, and have some space to maybe pick up a few other things depending on their weight. Like maybe if one heavy, really good, interesting gun or a bunch of junk. It's just, and to be fair, I did have a lot of food and healing items because they fucking shower from the dead corpses. Like when you get past 20 and you sit down to grind and kill a whole bunch of ghouls, most likely at White Springs, which is where almost everyone goes to grind, you're going to get a lot of variation healing packs and all kinds of fucking food and shit from that. I mean, I've never had a threat at all for any survival supplies at all. It's just so pathetically easy to fucking find. There's no challenge to it. It's just like they sat down, we want to make a survival game with PvP, but we don't want to make it without anyone's permissions or anything. So it's like, could you imagine, say, what could we say? Could you imagine, like, say, Overwatch? Let's say you're Genji and you snuck behind enemy lines and you go stab Morsi, but she didn't engage you, so you gotta wait for her to tap you back. So you're just sitting here with everyone trying to tap you so you can tap them back because they want to kill you. It's like, obviously stupid, right? Now, I can also understand they don't want people to do griefing like people do in World of Warcraft, where some people will try and keep someone dead and dead and dead and dead. I can also understand that, which would be why you could just teleport really far away or something. I don't know. The whole process needed a lot more thinking, really. They couldn't make up their mind whether they wanted to realistically. I mean, honestly, if they were going to go in that direction, they might as well just not bothered, really. Or made a separate mode, which is one idea they supposedly tried. I have never really looked into it because PvP just was a mess, even at launch, and they just kept changing everything, and I haven't seen anyone done it at all. So, if you're familiar with Fallout, you know the skills. You got your skills, your mean grill skills to go and grill. But they work different in this one. So, you get to put a point, and you get a cards. The cards can be attached to points. They consume so many points. Most of them are like 1 point, but a few of them can consume a little bit more, so depending on what kind of build. But what's weird in this game is I was expecting to be able to like re-pork in a game like this, but you essentially get to, but in the most weirdest way. So let's give a scenario. So let's say you want master lockpicking, but you feel like, oh, there's better skills I can put in there when I'm fighting and exploring. You can put whatever you want particularly, and then when you find something lockpicking, put your lockpicking cards on, and boom. All of a sudden you're a master lockpick, and then boom, you can change them out to whatever the hell you had, and it's weird doing that in a game where you're developing a character. It's like, just, oh, give me a second, George. Oh, I just remembered I'm a master picklocker. There we go, I got it. Okay. Oh, man, I forgot how to even know I did any of that. Shit. How the fuck that work? I don't know. Oh, well. I'll go back to eat dog food. It's convenient and useful because you can always design your character, like, you know, if you're going to go in combat, you can throw all the shit that's going to help you in combat and take the stuff for crafting off and that. But, I mean, it's just kind of bizarre in a role-playing sense, if you get my drift, know what I mean? Kind of weird. It's weird. Now, of course, if you're no stranger to Fallout 76, I'm sure you've heard of the countless bazillions of bugs. Like on launch, people found out ways to duplicate shit, get into the reoccurring dev room that you think they wouldn't put in a fucking online game. Who makes a room that has fucking everything in the game in it in an online game where you got a section of audience players who look for all the littlest cracks for speedrunning and abusing of shit? Somebody's gonna find a way to get in there, and people did. Actually, it was so bad that they didn't even know how people were doing it. It was being kept as a well-packed secret because people were selling shit and people were buying shit in this game. The people were paying for pay-to-win shit from third-party people in this game who were getting them through nefarious means versus the cosmetic shit on the... It's like, no wonder they want to put repair kits. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if in another year we start seeing actual shit on the store. I mean, seriously, people were paying money for the overpowered shit in this game. And it's gone on and off. They fixed it, then they reintroduced it, they fixed it, people found walkaways. There's been all kinds of terrible things, people falling through the wall, clipping. Things I've encountered is messed up textual walls that... Honestly, I don't know how to describe them. Like, it's like you're looking into a void of insanity. It actually hurt my eyes when I looked at it. I've seen that happen to other people. It only ever happened to me one time. I've seen T-posing enemies before. Tons of ghouls spawning and T-posing and just sitting there and T-posing. I've luckily did not see some of the mutated whores that walk out of parachute almost at times. Some people have had those skeletal structures completely screwed up when getting out of their parachute. It's just, ugh. And the menus, like, okay, so I get it. The menus is from all R4. Same thing. But you know what? I find it so convolutedly messed up, Willie. The thing I hate the most about the menus, though, like, everything else is tolerable to a point, but the thing I really hate about the menus is the parachute shit. You have to put your parachute out. Your parachute arm or thing will sit out there. The chassis will sit out there for so long while you're trying to do stuff, and then it'll be like, oh, it was out here for a minute. Back into your inventory and shit when you're trying to compare shit and stuff. It's very annoying to do anything in your fucking parachute when you're trying to compare the stats of your different pieces and shit. Because you got to put down, look at, and shit. It's just very annoying. I wish you had some way to look at the pieces and shit easier on that, and changing them out without putting it out and shit, but you can't. It can't be convenient. Fuck that. Another thing that was annoying to me is you can do lots of modifying and shit to your stuff. Sadly, you have to deconstruct tons of fucking garbage to also unlock most of them. I've only gotten so few things unlocked that I can do at my workbenches to my weaponry. Because what you essentially have to do is, let's say, okay, you got a shotgun. You want to do things to your shotgun. So you need to take shotguns, take them to your workbench, or a workbench, to deconstruct it, which usually you have to go to a camp. In the early parts of the game, you can be lucky and find some benches, and there are other places you can find some benches too. But most of the time, if you're out just doing random shit, you're usually not going to find a bench while you're looting. And like I said, you only have so much space for shit. You're going to probably have anywhere between probably 2 to 5 different weapons trying to juggle against all the other crap you're picking up. And you gotta get other weapons. Now, some weapons weigh different amounts, you know? Like, I've seen fucking melee weapons that weigh a ton, huge Gatling machine guns that weigh a ton, and some shit is really light. And depending on what kind of weapons you want to get modifications for, you gotta deconstruct that type of weapon. So if you really like a really heavy type weapon, you need to bring multiple of those and get them destructed. And it's just a chance that you may learn something that applies to those, that allows you to modify those. And the most things I deconstructed were mostly from the beginning of the game. After that, I just mostly focused on some armor pieces for the most part to get deep pockets, and then I tried to get a few other things, but it's just so much crap you gotta deconstruct over and over again just to try and hope you learn something. Fucking no. Now, you can learn recipes in the world. You can find recipes that let you make some other stuff too on top of that. But you gotta scrounge the world or get lucky on drops and shit and loot and enemies and stuff. Again, just more busy work. More busy work in this game. So I would describe like the first from level 1 to 20 probably going to be the more interesting moments of the game, because after 20 it just, that's when, for me at least, back when the game first came out, it slowed down and it fucking was a bus hitting a damn wall. Leveling up, like you would spend hours trying to get levels going up and up and up. And to be fair, you don't really need to go over level 50 because that's when your special points and everything cap out at there. You're not going to get any more. You can keep getting more cards. If there's certain cards you haven't gotten yet, you can get those. And you can also move your points around. So you can keep leveling up. I've seen people like, I think at like 200, which I don't even imagine how somebody played that much. I think I finished the game at 60 something, and I grinded between 30 to 50 off screen. I just stuck around White Spring and just kept doing that over and over again with having my base near and have my machine guns help mow down shitloads of enemies I snipped a little damage off of. Pretty fast grinding. I don't know if it got heavily nerfed though, because they kept modifying things. I've kept hearing White Springs is still the best place to grind to that. But overall, though, it's terrible. I always like to say, I like to think there's some good in the majority of games, even if they're slightly bad. Sometimes, you know, I can forgive a good idea in that. But this game, it launched in a piece of crap condition. And well over a year now of this game being out. And right now, you had a issue of firing guns, breaking all your equipment if you were conflicted with the bug. Like I said, people spawning shit into the world on the PC end that was from Fallout 4. And then also on the PC end is there's some method of making the game think other players are like boxes, you know, like something you can interact with and take items out of. And people are now literally just robbing people because it lets them access all their inventory and they can just rob everything out of their inventory. They don't even have to be by them. Like somebody did like a 1 hour video robbing people on the countrysides of that country road. So the PC version is just being fucked over constantly with hacking and shit. Not that the console end is any better. You still have all kinds of bugs and people who are doing other hacks. Like, people finding out how to fucking customize their own guns with powers. Like, I think you can only have like 4 special abilities attached to a piece of equipment, I think. And people found out how to get like more, so people were getting like equipment with like 10 different fucking abilities on them and shit. It's just ridiculous what it's just ridiculous what people were doing in this game. It's a mess even a year after. Could you imagine an MMO? Because I mean, this was basically the attempt to try and do something like Destiny. Like, we need something like Destiny where we can get reoccurring money from. And could you imagine any multiplayer MMO, even a light MMO, having all this kind of insanity? People selling shit on eBay, fucking having ways of duplicating crap they're selling on eBay, massively making money and shit. It's just, in fact, it blows my mind. People were fucking buying stuff off eBay for this game. Like, so you would ask, what would I value this game? As that is how I do these. I give you a value. Usually, like I said, I like to try and think of the good, the positives. What has a game given us here? Nothing in this case, honestly. I give it a GameStop dumpster. That's its value. If you find it in the GameStop dumpster diving, there's its value. I honestly do not think this is worth your time. I really don't. I really don't. Take it from someone who stubbornly went to finish this game. Honestly. But if for some reason, some sadistic reason, you want to go through this game, some crazy reason, don't pay more than $10, please. I haven't seen it go that low in America. Like, there was all kinds of, like, giveaways, buy a controller, buy a system, buy other games, like in EU territories, giving away the game with other shit. I haven't seen that in America yet. I think the lowest I've ever seen it's like 29 in America. But no, it's not worth that. Like, I mean, seriously. If you're gonna pay money for this thing, don't pay more than $10. Now, I'm not sure what the used front for Fallout 76 is. Maybe that would be a better direction for some reason you really wanted to do that. But please don't. If you want to know the story, the lore, which I heard is, like, I'm no master of Fallout lore, but I heard a lot of it is very conflicting in this game because it's a prequel. And, you know, they didn't make the original game, so I've heard a lot of conflicting things with just different stuff, but that's a whole different thing you probably should watch from someone else. But please please don't. I suffered, so you don't have to. So let's move on to spoilers. Not that there's anything too interesting here. You basically find out everyone's dead, your overseer and you find clues of you, and just make it clear, you never physically see your overseer, or even learn if they're still alive. Because there's one log that makes it sound like your overseer may have died, but people have agreed to disagree on which of those scenarios may have happened. But either way, you'll slowly find out about the Scorch that has way-laced to Virginia. And you'll find out that you can basically launch a nuke, get the Scorch Queen, and kill her. As simple and quick as it sounds, you will be doing some of those long, drawn-out MMO fetch quest garbage in this game with such an empty world. Now, you probably heard a lot of people say that this world has no NPCs. Now, that's technically wrong because, you know, we're a bunch of we are a bunch of RPG people here, so I'm pretty sure my usual viewers, I don't need to tell you what an NPC is, but for those who may not be aware, NPC is a non-player character, which also refers to enemies. So that's all the way a wrong statement. What these people are talking about is the deep, meaningful characters that you would meet in other Fallout games. They don't exist in this. There's only 2 robots that actually have any personality, and they're all way incredibly limited, on top of all the generic robots and shit that are so terrible. Like, they are like, hey, George, be the worst sounding robot you can. Beep boop, I'm going to save the world. Perfect, put it in. Like, it's just some of the most driveled fucking acting for a robot I've ever heard. I mean, Rosie, at least, is a personality. Is probably the most only real personality. There's another robot you can meet that has a bit of a humorous personality to him, too, but that more side shit, really. But you'll go through, you'd find a nuke, launch a nuke and fucking blow up an area where the queen is and go kill the queen. Now, the queen event is a big event that anyone can join, even if you're not anywhere close to that point in the story. So anyone can go down there. As long as you can survive in a nuclear area, you can participate in the queen event. And usually when the queen spawns, everyone who can will go down there and try and kill her, because they give good loot. More on that in a second, though. So, probably the hardest part of this entire game is launching the nuke. So, you have a whole bunch of side crap you gotta do before you even go into the silo. You gotta get codes and figure out how to translate them into the actual working code and shit. And there's a whole website you can go to that just does that for you, essentially. So, if you want to skip all that bullshit, you can do that. But the silo is basically Fallout's equivalent to a MMO raid. Though you can do it by yourself. You can use hacking terminals to get the torrents and shit to attack each other, help help control the enemy population for you when you're by yourself. And the spawn rate is, as far as I can tell, dependent on the amount of people. So if you're by yourself, it's not going to spawn shitloads of stuff. But the stuff down there still fucking hurts, though. And I spent like a fucking hour doing the silo. I spent like an hour going through that horrible fucking all kinds of tedious shit to set up the nuke. And then some asshole came in and fucking launched a nuke. Now, I did this blindly. So I did not know what to expect going in to do this. So when I did this, I did not know somebody could steal it. They came in and launched a nuke. And then what happens is you're told there's 5 minutes and it's going to reset. And then you get kicked out. And then no one can go in that silo again. Now, there were 3 silos, so I could have gone to another silo. But I walked myself all the way to the nuclear room where you launch it. So I just counted, like I said, because after that you just go kill the queen. And like I said, you don't have to be at that point to be able to participate in that. But that was the fullest bullshit thing. I did all that walk to get robbed, literally. So I went and got to fight the queen, and a lot of people showed up. And after we killed her, I got nothing from her. Nothing. Nothing dropped for me. 100% nothing. Which some enemies do that. I don't know if that's normal for the Scorch Queen, but I got nothing. I wanted to make sure the items loaded and stuff. Nothing. And after that, nothing. You're done. You can go and just do all the other side shit until the new add-on comes out, or burn the game like I'm going to. Because this thing is fucking accursed. Is there any way to save this game? I don't know. I think the best way would probably be to do a Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV launched in a horrible fucking mess. And they did all kinds of things to try and make the player base happy, to the point of letting them play the fucking game for free for several months. What has Bethesda done? Jack shit. Made broken promises. 16 times the detail. My ass. That fucking trailer where Todd Howard showed off Fallout 76 for the first time is some of the biggest cock of fucking lies I have ever fucking seen. Oh no, it's of course Todd Howard. He's killing me. Far away. But seriously, this is an epitome example of how much of a joke the AAA market is in the Western world. It is an epitome of it. But I think the best odds would probably be that we start at like 14. I think is the really only hope. It's in such a terrible state. The engine is not made for multiplayer, as it continues to be abused by its PC player base to hell and back. It's just a fucking mess. Again, don't bother. If you want to know about the story, the side stories, the lore, look up somebody like Oxenhorn or somebody and watch their videos on it. Because it's not worth your time. While I think my video playlist for this game clocked out at like 33 hours, I don't know what the fuck my playtime in this game is, but I can tell you, my total playtime ain't fucking 33 hours, and it wasn't worth any of it. Fuck this game. I'm sorry if this video didn't meet your standards. I mean, the first 2 takes I did of this was so ranty. Like, it's just comes off so much of a fucking rant, not really talking about the experience so much. It's like, it's just so bad. It's so bad, it's hard to really fucking even go on about it. There's so many things, like, this is the type, if you want, like, a real review of this, This is the kind of thing you would have to make hours worth of fucking video content. There was so much garbage to go over if you wanted to go in so much detail about all the things. It's so long. So fucking much. So many problems. On top of the terrible frame rate consoles have. I'm not one to talk about frame rate, but it is fucking awful, and when there's so much shit going on. So much shit sometimes. Like the whole incident with the Scorch Queen, that's just fucking like drops down to like 10 frames or some shit. It's so fucking choppy. It's so garbage. It's so funny that even the PC version's still laggy garbage. I mean, this fucking game, I just sat here letting it updates again so I can get footage for this video. And when I had to delete more shit to fucking fit it on my hard drive. And it was 82 gigabytes all the way. It's bigger than fucking Final Fantasy 14 is on the PS4, which is like 74 gigs right now. It's like, what the fuck are they doing in this game? What the fuck? Fix the game or just fucking throw it out the window. I wouldn't be surprised if down the road they made this non-canon or something, but at this point I'm on my way getting on the whole wanty thing. I knew it was gonna hard to resist to not do it. I knew it was. But anyway, thank you for checking out this abomination of a video on Fallout 76. If you feel like you learned anything interesting in it, feel free to leave a like. And if you feel like that it's just wasn't enough, you feel free to leave a dislike. Because honestly, I'm kind of disappointed. I couldn't really stand to make so much terrible. So much terrible. Oh, you know, I almost forgot, you know, people, just not to mean to delay this more, but I remember people were saying they were looking forward to this video after I finished Metal Gear Survive, because, you know, a lot of people shit on Metal Gear Survive. Metal Gear Survive is a disappointing Metal Gear game, but as I said, it's an okay zombie game. Could have used a lot more interesting things to do with other players in that sense, but it's an okay zombie survival-y type thing. And if I'm going to compare it to 76, go buy Metal Gear Survive. That is at least a video game. This is a fucking travesty. This is not even shelfware. Like, this is lower than shelfware shit. Shelfware is more functional than this shit. And shelfware usually half the time is buggy-ass crap too. But at least you can play it offline. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm jumping off bridge into the town.
どうだった？私の作った朝ごはん。感想だよ。感想。そうか、そう